Well, folks, we are live. If you couldn't tell, if you're catching me on the replay, thank you for that. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, donating to the PayPal account, all that good stuff that all you wonderful people do. Man, I am tired. It's been a busy day. I'll tell you all about it when people get in here. So just give it a few minutes. Girls, come on now. Those are good doggies. I know you're jealous, right? Maybe if you were nice, people would like you. Those dogs are pretty doggies. Leave them alone. Be nice. You can't go play with them. Man, oh man, I am tired. Woo-wee. Thank you for being here, whoever you are. Thank you for coming in. Man, I appreciate you guys shouting us out, telling your followers, or your subscribers, your friends, your colleagues, your family members, your dogs, your cats, that we are live, because we are live. So thank you there, thank you there. Busy day today. We'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. Oh man, I'm so happy to be sitting down and relaxing though. As you can tell, I'm outside. It's a work in progress out here. I'll admit, I way overdid it and got a lot of stuff done today here in my outdoor area, but I'm not going to show you guys that. I'm going to wait until it's 100% done. And then I'm going to put the videos all together and show you what we did, how we made it 10,000 times better, how we built a dirty kitchen, all that good stuff. But we're going to wait. We're going to wait. We are. As you come in, make sure you say hello to everybody. Man, it's amazing. You know, I love sitting outdoors. You guys have seen me doing live streams outdoors in the mornings and in the evenings and by the fire pit for many thousands of years. And I just love it. Now, we've got a much bigger area, so I still haven't quite figured out how I want to arrange my furniture yet. I've thought about putting a TV out here, but I don't know. I'm still debating that. You know, man, my day is going good, big. Going really good. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for coming in. All these folks in the background, hanging back, come on in and say, hello, afternoon. Good to see you guys. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you guys got a YouTube channel, let me know so I can go check you guys out. It's going good. You know, I was really busy today. I mean, we had a busy day. We got a lot going on the next week or two, and I've been adding a patio area to my outdoor living area so I can build a dirty kitchen. Daniel's in the house, Sports Highlights. Good afternoon, Sports Highlights. I love the highlights of sports. That kid from Tennessee has to be the dumbest college football player ever. Well, besides that guy that was catfished, who played at Notre Dame. I'm just telling you, that kid from Tennessee has to be one of the stupidest kids in the world. Marco says, hello, hello, hello. Yes, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the thumbs ups. Yazin is here. Everybody say hello to each other, by the way. Very important on my channel. The rule is you guys all got to say hi to each other. Be friends with each other. Big, I do not have children. I have wiener dogs. I have 2 wiener dogs. We don't have kids. My personal philosophy is kids smell. Kids always want either attention or food, you know. So I have kids. Ooh, the sun's breaking through the clouds. Man, look at me. Woohoo! How about you? Do you have children? So it is about 84 degrees where I'm at. It is breezy today. It is 6:20 p.m. in my state here in the United States. Lily, that's my fat wiener dog Lily, who's crippled because she got ran over by a car last year. My other wiener dog is sitting on my cover of my barbecue grill. They don't like to sit on the ground. They got to like sit on a blanket or anything. They don't want, it's kind of weird. They don't want their butt on the ground for some reason. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Megan says, hello, Yazin and Daniel. No, I am 9. Well, if you're 9 years old, you probably don't have kids. I would agree with that. That's probably good. So, so what does your handle mean? If you're only 9 years old, what does your handle mean? What does your name mean? So, well, someday, do you want kids? Kids, I never wanted kids because, like I said, they smell funny, and they're always wanting you to talk to them and give them attention, and then they want you to feed them, and that just stuff is kind of your name, Big Nums. What does it mean? Because I know it's not your God-given name, right, on your birth certificate, but so what does it mean? It's like, ours means, the adventure of the Philippine American couple. I'm American, my wife's Philippines, so we're a Philippine American couple. Oh man, that's good stuff. I'm having some iced tea tonight. Is anybody in here like iced tea? Marcos. I'm doing pretty good. I'm shocked that I'm feeling okay today. I worked hard today. I power washed my entire outdoor area where I'm at. I can't show you the whole area because I'm still working on it. It's going to be like a top secret reveal in a few days when I get everything organized and put back into place. But man, I did a lot of work today for an old fat guy. So I'm shocked that I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm feeling pretty good. It's all right. I'm doing okay. But thank you. Marcos, how are you? What's going on in your part of the world? Big says, I do like tea. Yeah, I'm a big iced tea fan. MJ's in the house. Old fat guy's doing work. That's it, man. You should have seen it today. I should have videoed it and just made you guys laugh at me all day. But I didn't want to do that because I was running around without my shirt on. Everybody say hello to everybody by the way. Marcos, say hello. MJ said hello to everybody. So yeah, I was running around today without my shirt on, so I was doing the sexy man thing while I was power washing because we added an extension to our patio, MJ, so that we have a bigger outdoor living area so that I can set up my dirty kitchen and all of those things. I've been working on that today. I'm about 80% done, but things need to dry out. And then of course, can I please? No, I don't know you well enough to make you a mod. MJ and I are personal friends, and that's why he's a mod. And I never put anybody who's a mod that's under the age of 21. So sorry about that. Sometimes, it could have been when I was crawling around on the ground. I mean, I was dirty, muddy, it was a mess. Or you should have seen, you're going to see the videos. My poor wife is one of the best wives in the world. She's out here mixing concrete, shoveling dirt, shoveling concrete, and she's wearing house slippers. Very traditional Filipina, right? Big says hello to you, MJ. M says laughing, it's okay. Marcos, my job, chef in the kitchen, 50 years. Woo. I wish I was a chef. I like to cook. I pretend I'm a chef, but I would give myself a D- if you wanted to grade me on my kitchen skills. But I wish I had at least B level skills. Wait, here, I've missed several lives due to me being asleep. I've missed all kinds of things due to me being asleep, MJ, so it's okay. It's all right, man. Yeah, we're doing a lot of live streams again. We're getting ready to go on a vacation to Alabama here soon. So we're going to do some stuff in Alabama. I'm going to do some sightseeing, some fishing. We're taking the dogs with us. I mean, my yard's a mess. Tomorrow, I'm going to get more energy, come back out here and do some work. Marcos, yes, cooking. Hey, be nice. Going to L.A., Lower Alabama. That's it, buddy. That's exactly where we're going. We're going to Gulf Shores, Alabama, Orange Beach, Alabama, and we're also going to go to Pensacola, Florida. Arab is in the house. Hello, sir. Hello to you. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We appreciate you coming in. Thank you for giving us a thumbs up, by the way, and sharing us out. Yeah, we're going to go to Pensacola because what we got was the other day was the Blue Angels that fly, those planes that fly out of Pensacola. They called me up the other day and asked if I wanted to fly one of their planes while I was in Alabama. So I'm like, all right, I guess, So we got to make a trip over to Pensacola so I can fly one of their planes, you know. The Gabe is in the house. Marcos, add me in your chain. Add me in your chain. What do you mean by that? If you wanted to subscribe to the channel, hit the alert bell, and that'll get you notifications when we go live and we do all this cool stuff. So you got to hit the alert bell on our YouTube page when you subscribe. Gabe came in and said hello. Then he said, okay, I got to be right back. Unfortunately, went on one time to Florida right there, but the damn Red Sea thing happened. You can smell, oh yeah, the red tide. Been there, done that. Sanders, Gus, how are you, buddy? We appreciate you. We're doing good, man. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I've been working out here in my outdoor area, but I'm not going to show it to you because it's not ready. And guys, if you guys all know who's married or hanging out with Filipinas or wives, I have a thought in my head how I want to arrange the furniture, but I know Lorelai will come along and just rearrange it. So I haven't arranged the furniture. So we're good. Gabe says, hi, guys. Hi, Marcos. Everybody say hello to each other. Sanders and fine. Good. Thank you, buddy. How's Georgia? What's going on in Georgia? Thank you for saying hello, MJ. Do you like football, sir? I like American football. I want to clarify because that's the only football there is. That soccer is soccer. That's not football. That's soccer. But yes, I like American football very much. I prefer college over pro because pro sucks. Okay, remember when I said I was going to donate to you? Yes, I know. You offered to give me $5 million and you never came through with it, Gabe. You hurt my feelings. You hurt my feelings. Well, we have Cash App too, Gabe. Hi, MJ. Not much there in Georgia. I'm back, Big Nuns says. I don't know what he means by his channel. MJ, Gus, some of you older guys, when I see Big's name, I kind of think of Al Bundy and Married with Children and his magazine that he used to read all the time. If you ever saw that show. I saw your 10 minutes ago, Gus, on another, just popped up to see what's going on. Glad it's all going well. Yeah. Can I have it? Can you have what? What can you have? My Cash App? Sure. Sure. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Wait a couple of days and I'll add it to my YouTube channel. Okay? I'll add it to the thing on the YouTube channel. I'll put it right by the PayPal stuff. Hey, Rab, CR7 or Messi? Well, to be honest, I don't know what CR7 is. CR7 used to be a Mazda car. Messi, I think, is an English soccer player. I've heard good things about him. I heard that he's a very nice man, so I guess him. Yes, MJ Biggins, that's right, MJ, you get it, right? Exactly what I thought. But I think our friend Big there is only 9 years old, so he probably doesn't get the joke. CR7. Everybody likes CR7. KK, yep. Well, I have to go. Have a great day, the Gabe says. That's Roland. CR7, all right. I know nothing about soccer. I think it was also a drum machine or synthetic or something. There you go. Gabe says goodbye. All right, Gabe, we will see you. Enjoy. I'm having because I'm really tired. I'm more out. CR78, and I know the CR78. I know the C7. Was it the CR7, which is like a little bitty two-door sports Mazda that was a lot like a Fiero, however you pronounce that one. MJ says, I know music. Bye, I have to go. All right, big 9-year-old. Okay, Rab. Okay, sir, you are handsome. I know, but, I get told that every day, not to brag. I get told I'm handsome, good looking, charming, debonair, great person of style. So, but thank you for that, Arab. I'm sure you are a fine looking human being yourself. CR78 was what Phil Collins used to intro into the air tonight. Great song. Nino, hello. It's been a while. How are you doing, man? I'm doing great. How are you? It has been a while. Really has been a while. So, There you go. Flex that muscle, Arab. Woohoo! How about you, buddy? So, what's your age? Do you live in America? You know, like MJ is an expert in music. Are you an expert in anything? Gus Sanders is an expert in wiener dogs and the state of Georgia. And he's just a damn fine, handsome person like his cousin out of Texas. So, but I wanted to do a live stream early today, come out here and enjoy the wonderful breeze, the beautiful air, the sunshine. Plus, I was, tired. I'm doing great and hope you're doing amazing. I am. I'm busy a lot. We're really busy trying to get the house cleaned up, get the backyard ready to go. Winter is ending, spring's coming. We like to spend time outdoors. So, but you got to get everything ready every year, which sucks. I'm an expert in eating. Woohoo! See, that's a good one. That's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I was just trying to, build you up, buddy. Build you up, buttercup. So I'm having some nice iced tea. I tried something today. I got a little bit of Captain Morgan's rum, and I got some guava energy drink type juice. So I'm going to have that. Maybe that will ease the pain in my back a little bit from doing all this work today. Since I don't get to take any good drugs anymore. Of course, me too, but I need to be careful what I say here. I don't know, MJ, how you can be an expert in eating. You're so freaking skinny. It looks like you don't eat anything. Seems to be good weather there. It is, it's very good weather. It's breezy, but my part of the world is always breezy. It got in the mid 80s today, no rain. I liked it. You guys would have been excited. I was outside doing a whole bunch of power washing with my shirt off. I was going to do a live stream where you guys could see me half naked, but I thought, well, that might get too many of you guys all excited. Sanders says, I like to hunt and fish. Well, I don't hunt. I don't mind hunting. I just don't do it. I would do it if I had friends in a place, but I'm not in. I would be. But I fish. Now, I fish. That's why we want to go live in southern Alabama, because then I can go down to the piers and the parks and the canals, and I can go fishing down in southern Alabama anytime I want. So I'm a fisherman. I love fishing. I like both the gold and the spice. Yeah, this is just regular with energy drink in it. Eating something at night, let's say that. There you is that where you were going with that? But how does Venus feel about that? Does she agree, or are you just a man of delusion? Drinking doesn't help the pain, it just makes you not care. Well, it's only about this much. And then the energy drink, small energy drink. So, oh my God, that seems amazing. I love to fish. Yeah, we love fishing. We live in an area that doesn't have great fishing. And I want to go to an area that has great fishing, good fishing, year-round fishing. Here, I'm stuck inside for about 4.5 months out of the year. So I lose 4.5 months out of my year every year living in this part of the country. Venus can't say a word. When I eat at night, only breathe. Mine screams. So maybe you're not doing it right. Mine just screams. Well, you mean to eat or to catch? I really like to eat grouper. But I will catch anything. I don't care what it is. Because as a scientific mind, I know oxygen is important. To grouper. I like grouper, and I like mangrove snapper. Ooh, the wind's picking up. That's good. I power washed my barbecue grill today, so I need it to dry out inside and out before I hook the gas tank up and all of that. But I need it to really dry. Cod, I like cod. I love deep fried cod. I love cod and flounder. I like a lot of fish. But I gotta admit, I just think grouper is really, really good. I like grouper and snapper. Well, rainbow trout, brown trout, Here's what what I'm going to say about that. Not really, because we live, believe it or not, we live in an area, northwest Arkansas, where it's one of the top 10 trout fishing locations in the nation. Right, Cotter, Arkansas is not very far from us. So it's famous for trout fishing. So growing up, we have Beaver Dam and the White River here. We trout fished all the time. And when we were poor, my brothers and I living together in an apartment, we were really poor. The one thing we could do is go and catch a lot of trout. So we ate trout like until, it came out of your eyeballs. So no, I'm not a big trout fan anymore. But I will say my wife is really good, my Filipino wife is really good at cooking it. So once or twice a year we eat rainbow trout. But we don't really eat freshwater fish. I love fish and chips. It's one of my favorite things. I look for it. I was disappointed when I went to Vegas a few years ago with Lorelai on her birthday. I didn't get to eat at Ramsey Gordon's Fish and Chips in Vegas. I was really disappointed. I love the flaky white fishes. Yes, Beaver Dam was in Kentucky. No, Beaver Dam's in Arkansas. Trust me, it's right over there. I go to it on a regular basis. Beaver Dam is in Arkansas. Because we have Beaver Lake. Michael Moore's in the house. Hey, Michael, how are you? How's Michael? Everybody say hello to Michael. It's been a couple of days since we've seen you, Michael. How are you? Yeah, Bengus is the milkfish. Yes. There's a Beaver Dam in Kentucky also. Well, I'm sure there is a Beaver's Dam in Kentucky. There's Beaver Dams everywhere. So, yeah, I know what you mean, Michael. Trust me. I trust you, buddy. I know you're not lying to me. But we are currently on the White River that has 3 lakes on it. Table Rock, Beaver Lake, Table Rock, Beaver Lake, and shit. I'll think of it in a second. Okay, we can agree, we both like beavers. We do. Very much so. Very much so. As long as they're healthy. So, what do we have? We have Beaver Lake, Table Rock. Man, my brain is not working. We have another one. There's 3 of them in the chain. It'll come to me. It'll come to me eventually. I'm watching a dove. Here, I'll turn you guys around. I don't know if you guys can see that bird right there. There's a bird sitting on the lock to my fence taking a shit on it. See him? That bird, that dove, that's where my lock is. And for some reason, he's sitting there taking a shit on it. Table Rock. North Fork, maybe? Okay, we can agree, yeah. Hello, good to see you. Still professing wisdom? I am. Today, I don't know how wisdom I am, How wise I am is the better way to put that. But I try to produce wisdom. We are busy here. We're excited, man. We got an exciting year coming up. I remember when I was young, my uncle picking up a young new artist to go to the radio show down near Beaver Dam. His name was Garth Brooks. He didn't have a car at the time. Well, I remember there's a famous thing in Atlanta, Georgia, about a young black man who used to pick up little black boys and take them to his studio, and they never to be seen again. I don't think that was your uncle, though. Joe's in the house. Good evening, David and all. Everybody said hello to Joe. Joe, how are you? I think the rum's kicking in. I don't drink much. I never drink much. Every once in a while, I like to have a Guinness, and maybe I should have had a Guinness today instead of rum. But the thought of having an energy drink, a fruity energy drink, and some rum sounded really good. How's Joe doing? Joe, I've been better. What's wrong, Joe? What's going on, man? What's going on? MJ, you like that, buddy? The Atlanta child murders is what I was referencing. I just got done rewatching something about the Atlanta child murders a while back. Gus says, my dad helped train Elvis Presley when he was in the Army. Oh, cool. Elvis is still alive, apparently. He's a preacher somewhere in Tennessee or Kentucky or Ohio or some shit they keep saying. All right, Joe, well, you can send me a message. Sounds like you're talking about Wayne Williams. That's right. Man, you got a good, oh, well, you live in Georgia. So, yeah, I was watching some of that the other day. Wayne Williams, that's correct. And the green fiber, and how bad did the cops screw that investigation up? I guess I know two people that played with Elvis on many songs. Yeah, MJ's a music person. I know a lot of girls that played with Elvis too, but not music. Apparently, Elvis had a thing for young girls. That's what the rumor is. No, that preacher is not Elvis. I know, but that's what they keep trying to convince us on the internet. I know better. To be honest, I don't think he did it. Really? Really? I mean, to be honest, all I know, because I love crime and I've studied serial killers all my life because I find them fascinating. I'm somebody that thoroughly enjoys human behavior. And I don't know if he's guilty or not, but I definitely think from everything they present that it makes him look guilty. Conspiracy theory, teenager girl is what he wanted. Oh, Elvis, yes, not Wayne Williams. Wayne Williams, if he's guilty, wanted little 10 to 12-year-old boys. What was he convicted of then, Sanders? I thought he was convicted of 1 or 2 child murders. Or was he convicted of the 18-year-old that was murdered? Is that what he was convicted of? I know after they got 1 or 2 convictions on him, they gave up and said no more. 2 adults, okay. Gus, let me ask you this, because, I love the thought is, but isn't it interesting that, isn't it interesting that the child murder stopped, or did it really stop when he was convicted, or are they still continuing? Why would you want a boy if you're a guy? Well, they get confused in the brain. They get brain damage. I was watching something today for a couple of minutes where these idiot 20-year-olds who are fat, well, I'm fat, but they're fat, they're ugly, nobody would date them. So they have to, see, tonight I'm spitting out the truth, boys and girls. If you don't like it, you better run and hide. Because, I'm just going to tell you the way it is. But I'm watching this crap where these fat, ugly, nasty looking people in their early 20s, 18, 20, 24, couldn't get a guy or couldn't get a girl to look at them if they tried, decide that they want to be a social influencer about, you better call me he, hey, him, they, whatever it is. But they're dumb as rocks. So they got a rock loose in their brain. People got rocks in their brain, buddy. Never mind, that can go into deep combo. The truth will set you free. I don't think they know the truth. I think the truth is a powerful delusion. I think more people are on drugs now than ever. Something has to be going on besides pure loneliness and patheticness of these 20-something-year-olds. These 20-something-year-olds are pathetic. And when they're 40, they're going to look back and go, man, I was pathetic. Trying to talk intelligently about something I knew nothing about. But hey, since nobody liked me, unless I would dress up really weird and say I am non-binary, and I will go wherever anybody gives me attention, because that's what this is. It's all about attention. So a lot of these young, and I know we're getting off track. We're doing really good with Wayne Williams, and now we're down in the ditch. But a lot of these kids that don't have an identification, they're just going wherever anybody will give them attention, and that's the problem. Lawson's in the house. Hey, oh yeah, Lawson, I'm doing good, buddy. How are you? You, like me, need to keep in mind that others will watch this and see what we say. So I'll try to speak the truth now rather than say something like, I wish I wouldn't have told them. I agree, man. I don't care. You know me. If you don't like me, you don't like me. If you like me, you like me. I don't care. Just remember to donate to my PayPal account so I can buy a beach house in Florida. Charles says, man, it's gonna. Hi, just wanted to drop by and say, out and about with M&D sent me over to say hello. Wow. So that's great, Charles. I hope you subscribe to us, check us out, give us a thumbs up. Now look, I'm sorry that M&D, I'm sorry. No, they're a good channel. They're good guys. So, but I'm glad you're here. I am. M&D's a good channel, but I try to bust his balls a little bit. So, I'm pretty good. Just got back from the Holy Week service. All right, that's right. It's Easter time here. So Charles says, yes, sir. Oh, you ain't got to call me sir. You can just call me Lord and Master of the Universe. It doesn't have to be sir. Lord and Master of the Universe works just fine. So, but we're happy to have you. We welcome everybody to our channel. We don't care what you believe, what you don't believe, where you're from, what you do, what you eat. We don't really care. We enjoy having everybody on our channel because we like learning and talking about everything and everybody. So Charles, tell me a tiny bit about yourself. Are you in the United States or somewhere else? M&J says, I posted the first parade on Wednesday, Thursday. I think we have another parade coming. Good. Parades in the Philippines. Shit. I need more beer. There you go, man. Got to go get that Red Horse. Don't be a wussy and drink that San Miguel light crap. Be a man. If you're going to drink manly stuff. Don't be over the drinking Old Milwaukee Best and Miller Lite. Get you a Guinness. Get you a real beer. Be a real man if you're going to drink. So, San Miguel, bro, that's right. Yeah, it's piss water. It's like Corona. So, but did everybody say hello to Charles, by the way? He's new, so please say hello to Charles. We need all the subscribers we can get to put up with me, man. So don't run anybody off. We need everybody here that will put up with me. Red Horse is too harsh. No, man, Red Horse makes you a man. And I do have an opinion. Hello, Joe. Thank you, MJ. Appreciate that, buddy. Oh, man. I tell you what. Busy week. Today's Thursday already. Did you know that? Tomorrow's Friday, by the way. My wife is job shadowing for a new position today. She's got a job interview tomorrow. I'm hoping she gets it because that'll make her really happy. It should pay more money, which will make me really happy because then I can buy more fishing tackle, so. I have no clue what Palangchabaya makes you drunk. I have no clue what that is. Oh, see, now you're speaking Tagalog or Visayan, and us fat Americans don't know your language. We no speak your language. So, red, and the other one must be Cabero, but Cabero is a freaking animal, not a horse. I thought that was that damn cow that lives out in the Philippines. The big horned cow thing. Isn't that what that is? Broken head. Well, there's a lot of people out there that think that I have a broken head. And I'm telling you, and including the doctors, A lot of the doctors think I have a broken head. Do you got a broken head? No. But it's been a busy day for us, man. We're excited. We're going to Alabama soon. We're going to go fishing. We're going house hunting. We're going seafood eating. What else can you do in Alabama? We're going to go visit Nick Saban. He called me up the other day and said, look, I know I live in Florida now, but I am going to be in Alabama the week that you're going to be in Alabama. So if you could find it in your schedule to come and meet with me down in Gulf Shores, I'd be happy to do that. And I'm like, all right, I guess I could squeeze Nick Saban in while we're there. I mean, I got to go to Pensacola, Florida, and fly with the Blue Angels. So I got to squeeze that. It's going to be a busy week. I don't know how I'm going to get everything done. See? Bio, horse, buo. See, I don't speak the language, buddy. Is a cow. So what happens when you mix a cow and a horse together? Do you get a cows? Or horse cow something? Do you get a hybrid? So, but yeah, we're going to Alabama. We're excited. I got the plants outside. I got some gardening we do. Lorelai gardening is doing well. She's got one more big garden to do. I think we're going to do when we get back from Alabama. Barbecue's really ready to barbecue, girl. There's nothing. It is a beautiful night out here, though, man. It's breezy. This is, when you're poor like me, getting to sit outside with a nice breeze, a nice cold glass of iced tea, look out to the trees and see the birds is about the best it gets. The DNA cannot propagate between a cow and a horse. That is correct. But you never know, right? A horse and a zebra can. A horse and a mule can. A horse and a donkey can. You just never know, man. Maybe, they brought back the dire wolf the other day. Did you hear that? Supposedly the dire wolf is back. So a big, gigantic wolf. So you never know. Where's my dogs, by the way? So my yard is a mess. Moonwalkers in the house. Are you poor? Yes. We have something in common. Well, everybody in here, we all can relate to being poor. Sanders included, MJ included, we're all poor. I am very poor. I'm lucky to have a glass of iced tea is all I can afford to drink. Interbreeding in the same species is possible, yes, but cow and horse is a no-no. Is a no. Well, I don't know, but just think if you could make a big old fat, tall cow that you could ride. I don't know. Moonwalker, thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. We appreciate that. What's going on in your part of the world? My part of the world is a beautiful evening, as you can see. You guys want to see it out in front? Here's what my evening looks like. We're just kind of looking out over the trees. That's all we're doing today. Welcome to the Poor Club. Neighbors. We have too many neighbors. We'd very much like to live in half country. We want to live somewhere where it's half country. Are you saying you're poor because you don't have a glass of expensive wine? No, I'm saying I'm poor because I don't have a beach house or a house that's on the water. And and I'll tell you this. I think the richest people, no matter how, or private jet, I think the richest people in the world are the ones that have no debt. Even if your net worth is only a few $100,000, if you have no debt, then you're wealthy. Debt is the worst thing you can do in life. So we still have some debt on this freaking house. So once we become debt free, then we will become not wealthy, but wealthy. Because debt is your enemy. So yeah, we don't need I don't really want a private jet. I just want to be able to rent one. You know what I mean? I would rather rent it when I need it versus owning it and paying the carrying costs. But our dream is to have a house on the water in like Florida. But nobody will give me $5 million, and I'm very disappointed. I keep asking. I've been asking for almost a year now for somebody to give me $5 million on my PayPal account, but nobody's done it. And I'm very disappointed. I don't know if nobody likes me or what, but it's only $5 million. Oh, yeah, you're saying you're poor because you don't have enough disposable income to buy what you want in life? Yes. That's a very good way to put it, Walker. Yes. Honest, richest people have no debt. They own stocks, investments, and borrow money, low interest rates again in their holdings. I would agree with that. I don't like having debt. The only debt we have is our house. But my goal, because I know I'm going to die soon, is to make sure I have a house that's paid for my wife to live in, because my wife's younger than I am. And she deserves to be completely debt-free when I die. And of course, not being able to work due to health issues, I have no life insurance. I can't get life insurance. Well, I guess I could, but I would pay more than the life insurance is worth in the payout. So that didn't make any sense to do that. Mutual of Omaha life insurance crap you see on TV, it's a scam. Yes, you can attain it without a doctor's note or doctor's review, 1,000% yes. But you got to wait like 3 years before you can cash it in. And 2, you're going to pay more in premiums than they're going to give you. Yes, you got to pay the tax man, which is sad. That's another thing, like in Florida and other places that's going on in the world, and even Mississippi, where Mississippi just in its state income tax. Florida is working on getting rid of real estate tax. Plus, state of Illinois get a charge of me also. I got to go maybe move my address back to Tennessee. Yeah, put it wherever is best that serves your tax-wise. Be positive about life. Do you think about that you will drive and believe you will live a long life? Well, I agree with you. Look, what I'm going to tell you is the odds. I'm a very practical human being. I used to be smart, but I had a coma, and now I'm not. But I'm a very practical, and I play the odds a lot. And the odds say that I'm going to die way before my wife dies. I've been dead 4 times. She has not. She's, a lot younger than me. So the chances of her outliving me is and women live longer than men in general. So the odds are in her favor to live a lot longer than me. Do I think I'm going to die tomorrow? No. Do I want to die tomorrow? Absolutely not. Do I want to live forever? Absolutely. But I'm a realist about things. Tennessee also has 0 state income tax. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that. But Mississippi's the same way now. MJ, I don't even live there. I know. Do you have any? No, we have no credit card debt. We have no debt but our house. Period. We have no debt. No car debt, no student loan debt, no any debt. We have no debt, except for the house. And we have a very, very large sum of equity in this house. And I want to take the equity out, move to a place where it's a lot cheaper, and pay for a house. That's kind of my goal for this year. You are still smart? Wow. Not really, my friend. I appreciate that, but the honest truth is, that's not accurate, And I accept it. MJ, I've come to accept my diminished capacity. I have. I've come to accept it. I just live with it. Well, I don't know. I think a lot. I think we start over a lot in life. And I think the key is not about starting over. It's about how do we start over and what do we leave behind. I'm one of these people, and I know maybe this is a little weird, and I talk to a lot of expats who want to escape America because they have financial issues. They have financial problems here. So they want to run off to another country to live. I don't believe in that. I believe in never burning a bridge. I owe nobody money. I've never burned a bridge. I have perfect credit. You know, I don't financially burn bridges. And I'm real big on that one. I saw your wife's picture. She looks much younger than you. I believe she could be around 30 years old, but she looks younger. You said you have been married for 10 years. Going on 11, that's right. She's not as young as she looks. But I'm glad she looks young because she's hot. She's smoking. But yeah, she's not as young as she looks, even though she says she is. If you have financial issues there, you have financials elsewhere. That is correct, right? If you can't manage your money in America, you can't manage it in the Philippines or Thailand or Indonesia or Jakarta or Mexico or anywhere else. Are you around 60 or 65? Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. I'm not quite that old. I just look it. Are you saying I look old? Is that what you're saying? Somebody earlier said I looked handsome. And now somebody's telling me I look old. Man, I don't know if I like this live stream. Crystal's back. Crystal, how are you? Good evening to Crystal. Everybody say hello to Crystal. Do I collect ass? As? I think you probably mean Social Security, right? To be honest, I collect Social Security disability about 12 years ago, or actually 9 years ago. They took me, I had to give up my career about 9 years ago. So due to health issues. Moonwalker, I don't know, I don't understand. Social Security. Crystal's back. Good, I saw people. I poo now. I know how politics really work. Yes. Politics don't work. Politics is a scam. So yes, I collect Social Security. I do. But I would give it up in a heartbeat if I could go back to my career. I loved a lot of stuff. I didn't love a lot of the people I worked with, but I did really enjoy a lot of the other people I worked with. So I miss working. I'm one of these idiots who's retired that thinks retirement sucks. And I can't work, to be honest. I know everybody says, oh, maybe go get a part-time job. The problem is I'm not dependable, and I could fall down any day. I have problems standing up, not because I'm drunk, because I don't drink that much, because of my heart failure. So I couldn't go get a part-time job if I tried. I would be a ultimate failure at it. Politics are what we need less of. Yes, I can tell as a friend for a while now, he's a great teacher. Well, I used to be. Now I'm just a blubbering idiot. Filipina Bai in the province is in the house. How are you? Good morning. Good morning to the future Mrs. HTN. I wanted to get that out there before Dennis came in and threw it out there. So, young Miss Bai, I figured Dennis will come in and throw that out there. So I thought I better throw that out there. But yeah, I used to teach college. I taught for 25 years. I loved it. I also did a consulting business, private consulting. I worked with the government, state and federal. Loved it. But sometimes, the world has a different mission for you. I believe you're an excellent professor. You have a vibrant personality. Well, yeah, I guess so. I get told that a lot, yeah. I try. And as I've said before, I don't hide the fact that I've worked on my vocabulary skills. I've worked on my speech, my mannerisms, in my teaching and my lecturing. I've lectured in front of over 5,000 people at one time before. So I'm not a shy person, but I've studied other orators and watched them and listened to them to see what I can learn from them. And I'm not very good at it compared to some of these people, but I try. I do try. Oh, my goulet, like, I don't know what goulet is. What I love most about David is how he delivers. Well, I do have a tut-tut that I deliver in, but I prefer to drive my old beat-up red truck that's sitting right there in my backyard. It's been in my backyard about 4 days. The neighbors are going to start getting mad going, Why is that fat guy parking his truck in his backyard? He should park his truck in the damn driveway. Don't they know that's what driveways are for? But it's sitting back here because I'm doing a bunch of work. But I asked him a question. He just watch how he delivers it. Crystal says, you look like a friend of mine, Uncle Stewart. His name, I believe, was Little Dave. Well, I'm Big Dave. I'm Smoking Hot Dave. I'm the man Dave. I'm, Philippine-American couple Dave. I'm hot and sexy Dave. You should have seen me earlier, Crystal. You may have been drooling. I was out here doing power washing in my back area because I love my little area. And I had my shirt off for about an hour. Yeah, sure did. Everyone makes everyone else think. Thinking's good though, right? See, he's funny, but he knows exactly what I meant. You need some pasties. Yes. And some twirly thingies. Crystal, so how are you today, my friend? He used to have a friend named Big Dave as well. Do you know anyone named Stewart? Well, I went to high school with a kid named Stewart, but I beat him up a lot because he was a dick. So that's probably not him. He had black hair. I can't remember. I think his name was Stuart Smith. His sister was really good looking, but he was a dick. So we beat him up a lot. And, he was a weird, creepy guy. Somebody that probably turned into a serial killer. But other than that, I've never known another Stewart, period, in life, except for the one I knew in high school. And I don't think that was probably him. But look, hey, if Stewart did some really good stuff, I'll take credit and say, absolutely, I know Stewart. He's a great guy. If he did really bad things, I say, oh, it's probably that guy in high school that I beat up a lot. He was married to Faye, and they have kids named Allison and Patrick. Yeah, no cool, no clue, to be honest. The Stewart I knew truly was in high school or junior, late, maybe 10th, 11th grade. And the only thing I really remember about him was that he was creepy and he had a smoking hot sister. After high school, I never so I'm sure that's not him. Do you encourage bullies in your school? Absolutely not. Look, I know you guys can't tell by how good looking and charming I am today, but back when I was a young man, I was a young man who fought a lot. I got into a lot of fights and I enjoyed fighting. I entered tough man contests and stuff like that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I bench pressed over 400 pounds. I was one of the dickheads that would go around and bully bullies. So I don't like bullying at all in any way, shape, or form. And I don't tolerate it on my channel, as Michael and others or MJ and others can tell you, that we invite everybody from every walk of life, every belief, and we respect everybody's opinion on my channel. We don't have to agree with one another, but by golly, your opinion is important. And I like hearing from it, even if I don't agree with it, because I learn from it. So we don't do bullies. I wouldn't do bullies in public. If I saw somebody getting bullied, I'm one of the jerkheads that would get involved, whether I get my head cracked or not. Now that I'm old and feeble and can barely walk, and I'm considered a freaking old guy now. Did you guys when and how in the hell did that happen? When did I go from this studly dude to some freaking old guy? I don't understand how that happened. But now I'm considered one of the old farts. The guys that have to use a mobility scooter. I had to get help at Lowe's the other day to load some concrete on a freaking, whatever the hell you call those things. No bullies, MJ says, even at my old age, I still try to stop fights. Yeah, well, I'll tell you guys, and what I really believe is sometimes you need a fight. And sometimes people need to fight. And there's a reason for it. But I don't believe in men hitting women, anybody hitting children. I don't believe in bullies and the loudmouth. And there's a lot of psychology to fights, and there's a lot of psychologies to bullying. And I'm one of these guys that understands some of the psychology. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I do understand the psychology by why people do what they do and how they say it. And look, the loudmouths are not somebody you got to worry about. If you got somebody at Walmart or a grocery store running their mouth, I'll beat you, you ain't got to worry about them. You need to worry about the quiet person, because that quiet person is going to bust you up. So the loudmouths, I did see some people fight and then best friends after. Yeah. Crystal says, what do you think about labels? Someone has a bully or a troll. How can you discern between the two online? Well, online and on. And what about who has mental health issues? Well, I guess what I would say, Crystal, to be honest, I think the motivation's different between a troll and a bully. A troll is somebody who is trying to get a reaction. A bully is trying to influence, control. But they're still on the same level. So I don't care if it's a troll or a bully, they're both pieces of crap. They're not one over the other like this. Do I think they have, I think they both have mental health issues. I do think they're both different mental health issues. One's an attention seeker and one's a control freak. So I think they're on the same level, but they're different, if that helps any. I don't think you should put up with either one. The best way to stand up to a bully and or a troll is to go. The best way to do it is to challenge. Say, I'm not going to put up with you. You're not going to affect me negatively. When we get trolls here, we love trolls on this channel because I make fun of them. I have a good time with trolls. Now, I don't get any bullies because nobody's stupid enough to bully me, and I wouldn't put up with it. I would just delete your stupid butt. So you can only be bullied if you allow yourself to be bullied. You can only be trolled if you allow yourself to be trolled. I'm the quiet person, MJ says. That's right. I think we all have levels of we all have mental health issues. I agree. Nobody's 100% perfect in mind or soul. Earl King's in the house. Everybody say hello to Earl. Earl King, how are you, buddy? Thank you for coming in. What's going on in your world? Thank you all for the thumbs up. We're almost to 20 thumbs up tonight. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Earl, how are things going, man? Join in. So I don't think it matters whether they're a troll or a bully. Now, trolls, as MJ can attest to being around long enough, know that we like to play with them. But if somebody came on here bullying somebody, one of my moderators, like MJ or one of the others, Joe and Jenny's Journey, I don't care, whoever's blue, would kick their ass out. We're not going to put up with it. We're not going to entertain them. Because to be bullied, you have to allow yourself to be bullied. Moonwalker, your explanation, David, shows that you were a professor. You explain it like a teacher. Well, thank you, I guess. It's just what I know. It comes natural, to be honest. I didn't train for it. I just, I didn't go. I didn't go to college to be a teacher. I did not. I didn't ever pass like a state teacher's exam or anything. I taught college. And teaching college is much different than teaching early education, junior high, high school. Way different. Secondary, all a totally different world. So I couldn't teach high school. I would be arrested and thrown in prison if I taught high school. Crystal says, true, MJ and Venus, there are levels, but again, social media creators are who are not. We act like a mirror, and I don't believe you allow yourself to be bullied or even raped. I agree. What I'm going to say, and I'm not an expert in this, Crystal, and I'm not. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not an expert. I've never been raped. I've never personally have known a female that has been. I have not. But from what I understand, when men or women rape somebody, because it goes both ways, it's more about control versus sexual satisfaction. I can't talk today. I've had too much rum to drink. So, but I'm not an expert in it to talk. And I would never tell somebody who's gone through that to get over it. Because I wouldn't know how to get over that. I just wouldn't. I would hope that they would understand that it's not their fault. It's the person that did it. If you could look, if you're being bullied, it's not your fault. It's just not. If somebody steals your TV, it's not your fault. If somebody kills you, it's not your fault. You know what I mean? If you're raped, it's not your fault. When crimes are perpetrated upon us, it's not our fault. It's not. I don't care what it is. Chrysalyn, you are welcome. Send the trolls to me. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we like trolls, but we like to make fun of trolls. We have a good time with trolls. I have to go now. Moonwalker says, gotta go to class. I hope the lecture is interesting as our discussion here. Well, now look, let me tell you this, Moonwalker, before you go. If you want an interesting lecture, make it interesting. Ask questions to your instructor. Don't be a jerk about it, but ask questions. Get the instructor to explain in detail more about, why cell divides. Whatever it is, get them excited. Whatever they're excited about, get them talking about that. If it's about the subject matter, if it's about biology, mathematics, history, whatever, we all have a lot of knowledge when we teach. We just want somebody to ask. Hey, but we want real good questions versus ones that are trying to distract us. So if you want a great conversation, you can do it. I was bullied at a young age. Yes. MJ, thank you, but they can most likely find you on their own as they always do. Yes. There's also a cyber crimes. Let's all remember, there are cyber crimes. Absolutely. There is. Cyber crimes, usually are just, cowards. But, I talk about, Crystal, have you ever heard me talk about keyboard warriors? And that's what trolls are, and bullies are. On the internet, they're called keyboard warriors because they wouldn't have the balls to do what they say and want to do in front of you. So they're called I call them keyboard warriors. Because then I've had people on here like Vincent and Jack and others over the years who, were keyboard warriors. And I know they're keyboard warriors because they wouldn't have the balls to say it to my face. So when we run into somebody that doesn't have the balls to say it to your face, don't give them any credibility. Because if they're not man or woman enough to say it to your face, direct to direct in person, then what they say has no value. Moonwalker says, I asked Professor, try explaining building a flow chart or a chart with swim lanes. All right, I don't know anything about that. I mean, I know what flow charts are. I used to do flow charts as a private consultant. Oh my, I've seen it, experienced it. I disagree on some of those keyboard warriors. Also have taken people's lives, broken into their homes. Well, you're talking about squatting, right? Where the keyboard warriors will call the police on somebody and have them come attack their house. Well, that's a criminal act. That person is committing a crime, right? That's a criminal. A keyboard warrior is the ones that, like Vincent, this guy Vincent, if we were ever face to face, he would never say a bad word to me. But on his keyboard in Australia, he will badmouth my wife, but he would never do it in my face. All right, Moonwalker, we appreciate you. Take care. But the people that are doing squatting online, that's a criminal act. And what we have to look at with that is, one, they are responsible for what happens to that person. And they're going to be held responsible. Two, law enforcement has to do a better job because I think law enforcement is just as guilty. I'm not a big fan of law enforcement on the way they behave. Law enforcement needs to do a better job on their own research before reacting like a bunch of armed military thugs. You can disarm disengage, calm things down like you can't believe. But the problem with policing in America is they think they're the American military and they want to go in guns blazing. So they're just as fault. Not just squatting, but also like kidnapping and human trafficking. Yeah. Once again, those are crimes against humanity. You kidnap somebody, you've committed a crime, and you should go to prison for a very long time. You shouldn't get out. If you human traffic somebody, you shouldn't get out of prison. And I'm okay with the death penalty. Flow charts are old. Also charts are old. Look how to take data tables, pivot tables. Yes. I used to be really good at pivot tables. But now I'm old. Everybody said hello to Happy Airplane is back in the house. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate you. Canadian police are no different. They're not. Law enforcement in today's world has been taught the wrong thing. They need to scrap what they're taught at the academy and start over. And this comes from an educator. And this comes from somebody, well, used to be an educator. But it also comes from somebody who has a lot of friends that are in the police force. What they're taught at the academy, the bullshit about them being badasses, and about how they are guns a-blazing, how they are the ultimate authority is bullshit. They should take lessons from other countries. So I'm not a fan of the way that America does policing. Everybody said hello to our good friend Airplane. Wait, Crystal, Lynn, Dawn, you have human trafficking firsthand. What did you do? Yeah, how did you? Yeah, great question, MJ. I need to sit back and just watch and listen for a little bit. What are the things you were good at, and now you aren't? Tim is in the house. Good evening, Pack. Oh my God, MJ, don't go too far because you're old like me. Tim is old like me. So our friend Happy Airplane is asking, what are the things that you used to be good at that you're not? Oh my God. Where do I start on that one? MJ, there's nothing you can do. It's up to the law and politics to deal with these issues. I can pray, but my family will never be the same. Correct. The damage has been done. You can't go in the past and correct things. All you can do is try to move forward and live the best life you can, depending on what your needs are. I can't tell you to get over something. When somebody dies, I can't tell you how to grieve. When somebody's been raped, I can't tell you how to grieve and how to feel, right? Everybody's different, and there's nothing wrong with how anybody feels. It's acceptable and it's okay in my world. Hello, everybody from Big Tim. Tim's in the house. Start off small and get bigger. Well, that's exactly it. Back in the day, you could start off small and get bigger. Now, no, just kidding. Some of you guys will get that one. Correct, which I am doing. I know, you're doing good, Crystal. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other and don't look back. Happy, used to be able to walk a lot further. Now I have to have a mobility scooter, which I need to buy a new one really bad, but I can't afford it. But I need a mobility scooter to get around a lot. That's very disappointing. Back, the vlogger you were thinking about that's it. Will Desovich. Okay, all right. Thank you, Tim. Hi, Tim. I get it, Dave. So, hang on. I got to pick my fat dog up. Everybody say hello to my fat dog. All right, sit down in your chair. All right. So, I used to be really good at having hot, sexy 21-year-old girls looking at me and drooling and going, my God, he's so handsome. Now it's the 80-year-old women that are drooling at me. Does that count? But to be honest, it's physical activities. As we get older and we diminish, our bodies start to deteriorate. The most things that people hate is the fact that they lose their ability to do what they did as a young person. I would still love to be able to play baseball, to get out with a social group and play sports. Can't do it. Never will be able to do it again. Tim says, hello, MJ and Venus. So, what about you? Is there anything that you used to do that you can't do at your age now? Yeah, you win some, you lose some. It all sucks. Hopefully I will never know it, but at some time in the future, I probably won't be able to know when I go to the bathroom. So, it truly is one of those things. Mobility is the big thing for me, to be honest, the mobility. And to earn money. I can't earn money. I'm disabled. I have heart failure, lung failure, kidney failure. I've been in a coma. My body is deteriorated. I cannot earn money. Back in the day, I was a private consultant. I taught full-time, faculty member. I taught part-time to make extra money, and I also did a private consulting business. I can't do any of that. So that sucks. Many things. There are lots of things I can't do anymore. I know, right? I mean, it just is. We're just lucky that we can get up and go pee at 3 a.m., right? All right. I'm going to admit, that Rama was a little harsh. Go back to tea. 3 a.m. pee, right? We're just lucky that we know that we got to get up at 3 a.m. and go pee. So that's your future, airplane, But there's a lot of things I would like to do. We love to travel, but to get through airports, I got to use a wheelchair. To go on cruises, which we love, I have difficulties with that. I used to do math really quick, and now I get headaches. Also, I used to be happy all the time, and now after my depression, happiness never felt the same. Tate Sanders, hey, your cousin was here from Georgia. Told me to tell you, hey, you owe him $100, but if you'll send it to my PayPal account, he said it'd be okay for me to forward it to him later on. Well, wait, sorry, $1,000. It wasn't $100. It was like $1,000. But Gus said, just send it to my PayPal, and I'll take care of it. How are you, Sanders? I hope you're doing well. Yep, just be happy that you got up. Well, look, airplane, let me tell you this. Now, it's not to diminish what you said. Happiness, I want to tell you something. I want you to listen. Because I'm old, and I'm not very smart, but I'm old. Happiness is not attainable. Happiness is something that we run into time to time. That's the nature of happiness. It is not consistent, okay? It's something you run into time to time. Here's the good news about that. You can figure out ways to run into happiness. How do I run into happiness? I do live streams. I have a good time. I go fishing. I stay away from, the shopping malls with my wife. So there's ways that you can bump into happiness, but happiness is not attainable. Hanging in there, Sanders says, good. Hope you are. Tim, before you pee, yes, hi, Father Sanders. Happiness is when I met my wife. Yes. Sanders, MJ was saying happiness is when he eats his wife, or something like that. Happiness is a state of mind. It is, and that's what I mean by bumping into it. I'll try that. So look, and real simply put, if banging your head against a brick wall doesn't make you happy, then don't do it. But if hanging out with a friend makes you happy, then do that more. Simply put. Now I'm going to tell you this to be cautioned. Snorting cocaine might make you happy, but you shouldn't do it. So don't do that. But hanging out with a friend that makes you happy, that's good. So you gotta understand that there is a line between false happiness and real happiness. I love to fish. There's nothing that make me happier than catching a fish. I don't know why, it just does. Nothing makes me happier to be debt free. Nothing makes me happier than my wife to have a financial future that I don't have to worry about her when I die. So do that. Understand that concept. Hello, MJ. Stay away from my Cappy. Sanders says, yes, yes, yes. Don't worry, don't do drugs or smoke. That's good. Because a chemical is an artificial happiness, right? It's like drinking is an artificial happiness. Just understand the difference between the two. Real happy versus an artificial happiness. That's all I'm recommending to you. If you hang out with a chick and she makes you happy, go for it. If you like going fishing like I do and that makes you happy, go for it and do it more. If you go to Walmart and it makes you sad, if you go to the grocery store and it makes you unhappy, don't go to the grocery store. Real simple. I mean, this is real basic and simple math. If it makes you unhappy, don't do it. Yeah, Tim says, but when you quit banging your head against the wall, you feel better. Yeah, the endorphins kick in. Well, I don't drink and smoke, so I'm still happy. And I'm still happy. That's all right. But that's not. But everybody's happiness is different. That's what I'm telling you. There may be some people that are really happy to bang their head against the wall, right? That might make them happy. Now, their brain chemistry may be screwed up, but that makes them happy. If that makes them happy, more power to them. Do you believe, Crystal's asking, do you believe throughout the ages the definition of happiness has changed or remained the same? All right. That's a great question, Crystal. What I'm going to tell you is, I think the definition has changed, is the same. The definition's the same. But we've been bombarded by advertisements, companies, corporations, governments, to try to convince us that it's different. Happiness is owning a new car. Happiness is buying a new hat. And I like hats. Happiness is buying new tropical shirts. And I like tropical shirts. But no, the definitions stay the same, but the propaganda is to try to convince us otherwise. That's what I believe. I quit. I wasn't happy. Well, there you go. And MJ, seriously and honestly, I don't have a problem with people drinking and doing drugs as long as it doesn't negatively affect other people. I really don't. So if it makes you happy to drink, drink. I don't care. I quit. I'm happy. Speaking about happiness, what were the best and the worst days of your lives? Okay, that's real easy. The best day of my life, and I wish I could do it over so that I could do it better, was when I got married to my wife. And I've thought long and hard about this. I wish I could go back in time and realize how important getting married to my wife was. How I really do. I wish I could go back, relive that, and make it 10,000 times better for her and myself. It was great for me. I'm a simple person. So I truly, truly, truly would love to go back. Love to go back. And if I had a bunch of money, I would do a new wedding. You know, I really, really, really would. The worst day was the day or the months that I was in the coma. That's it. I know those. Crystal says, if that's the case, what about love? What have you gotten to say about that? I mean, okay. Love is a chemical reaction to a physical response. That's what I got to say about that. You know, I will say this, and maybe a lot of people may not like this, but when men are ready to get married, the next person they run into, they will fall in love with. Understand that? When men are ready to get married, they will fall into love with the next person that fits the parameters for their happiness. Just saying. I think love is achievable. I think it's like happiness. You bump into love all the time. Love is not consistent. Do I love my wife? Absolutely. Do I love her more on Tuesday than I did on Wednesday? Probably. Maybe Wednesday's a down day. Maybe Thursday's an up day. That's what love is. Love does this. MJ says, I love that about you, David. You speak the truth. Well, I speak my truth. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me or not. Our good friend Happy Airplane, I think everyone would love to time travel to fix the past. Yeah, it would. You know, look, what I'm going to say about my wedding was, it was a great wedding. It really was. But 11 years later, I look back and go, damn, we could have done so much more. You know, my wife would have really enjoyed X, Y, and Z. Man, I missed the boat. I missed a great opportunity to just be so excited about that. That's where I'm at on that one. Chris says, let's talk back about in history. What would you say, stay silent and watch yourself, and how would you try to do different that you cannot control the past or make any sense of? You know, that's really tough for me because I'm not a personality that ever stayed silent. I never went, I mean, there's stupid things that I regret, like getting drunk and doing things that I probably shouldn't have done, made an ass of myself. But to be honest, when I've seen things that I haven't felt good about, I've spoken up. So I really don't have any regrets about the past. I really do not. Family regrets, business regrets, work regrets, friendship, I don't have any. Social regrets, I don't have any. I've always spoke my truth. I didn't know anything about being a foreigner, yes. Took us about 2.5 years before we met. I learned the differences. Shit. I said I would be silent and just watch. There you are. That's all right. You would be the best traveler wingman. Yeah, I'll be your wingman, buddy. Absolutely. Tim, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't change anything. Now, look, to be honest, since I'm greedy and I'm poor, if I could go back in time, I would buy a shitload of Apple stock when it was pennies on the dollar. All right? Yes, I would do that. But other than that, I really wouldn't change anything. I might invest in some things that I could make some really good money on because I'm poor and I don't like being poor. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that really bothers me is stressing over money. So if I could eliminate that stress, I would do that. Now, what if the past affected you and your family's future, MJ and Venus? She's asking you that. MJ, Crystal's asking you a question there. You would change history? Okay, that's a great question. And I used to belong to a think tank group, and we would talk about changing history. And what I'm going to tell you about that, it doesn't work. So let's say if you change history, you go back and you kill Hitler. Or you make sure when Hitler's born that he dies of crib death. That's not going to change history. What that's going to do is eliminate Hitler, but it's going to allow somebody else to take its place. I believe this, and the majority of people believe, you eliminate Hitler, somebody else is going to come along and be a Hitler at some point in time. So you're not really fixing anything. Things are not predestined, but they are pre-laid out. So the exact details are not mapped out. But shit's going to happen when it's going to happen. Period. Crystal says, what about me and what about family? I want to ask you. What she's asking you, what about your past has shaped your future? What if the past has shaped your future? The butterfly effect, that's it. Yep, it's like the butterfly effect, yeah. And I really believe that. Kill Hitler, fine. So somebody else comes along and maybe instead of killing the Jews, they kill all the Muslims. Or they kill all the Christians. Or all the Catholics. It just is what it is. It's going to happen. It just is. I mean, humans are the worst. Look, here's what I'll say. And I love human behavior. I love it more than you can imagine. I find it fascinating. The planet Earth would be so much better off if there were no humans on it. We are parasites. We are destructive forces in the world. We, humans, are the worst animal creature being on the planet, without question. You get rid of humans, and man, everybody else will be having a good time. Correct? What if something in your past now, Michael, affects you and your family in the future? Would you want to change something you cannot control? So basically what Crystal is saying, look, if something happened in your past and it drives and controls your future and your current relationships and family, if you could, would you go back and change it or would you just let it be? MJ says, I've learned so much from my past experience that it has led me to be a better person. I stopped making the same mistakes, but then I also learned to help others grow in the knowledge of humanity. I would not change a thing, he says. The doctor said you have 3 weeks to live. What are the things you would do before you die? Nothing. I've already done them. I married a super hot chick. I've gone out with beautiful women. I've already done that. Gone fishing a lot. I'd go fishing a lot. But to be honest, there's nothing that I feel like I haven't done. I am who I am due to all the experiences. Yes. Happy airplane, yes, the butterfly effect, and if you get the theory, that holds true. So, Crystal, what I would tell you is our past experiences, good and or bad, has shaped us to who we are. But I'm going to tell you what a lot of people miss. A lot of people miss the point that it doesn't dictate who we are today, but it gives us knowledge, the violent, the horrible things that happened to us as children, right? That doesn't dictate our outcome. It does not dictate our outcome. I want you to understand that. What it does, it gives us knowledge to help us shape the future. But do not let the negative, horrible past that has happened to anybody dictate your future or your presence. That's not an absolute. Horrible past doesn't mean a horrible future. It does not. It's not 1-to-1. It is not 1-to-1. I promise you this. And I want you to take this in and really listen to what I said about that. Your past, what happened to you as a child when you had no control over anything, does not dictate who you are today or who you will be tomorrow unless you allow it to be. I usually wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't either. I don't really have anything to change. I mean, there's some really stupid shit I did. But other than that, I really wouldn't change anything. Learn me as the person I am. That's right. Have you ever gotten so mad you started? No. Um, I don't destroy things. I know it's kind of, my wife does. A lot of people do when they get really mad. I do not. And you don't know why I don't destroy things when I get pissed? Because I know I'm going to have to replace it with my own damn money. And that would make me even madder, right? That doesn't make any sense. So to be honest, I do not destroy things when I get mad. When I get mad, and I mean really, really mad, I get to be not a nice person. I won't put up with you. If you're in my face, I'm going to take you down. I have committed violence, never towards a girl, but towards a man, without question. And I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed taking my anger out on somebody violently. But why would I destroy stuff? I just have to replace it. Tim says, if the doctor told me I had 3 weeks to live, I'd just be glad the doctor said he forgot to tell me I had 19 days to go. Yeah, I like that, Tim. That's really good. I was mad one time and punched pillows, knowing I wouldn't hurt anything. Happy airplane? No, I saw family members do that. My grandson was one individual. She was so mad. Quit, Lily and Daisy. Broke a cookie jar. I just don't see any reason to throw shit around. I just don't. I do not do that anymore. I was young. No. Now, granted, look, there's horror stories about me hurting people. I get it. It's in my past. You know, I got a half brother who's a lot older than me. When I was a little kid, about yay big, 6'6", they told this story at a family reunion to my wife, that when I was probably 6 or 7, this is after my mother died, so I was probably 7, that everybody came to town, you know, whatever. And this particular guy who plays Santa Claus now, nice, very nice man, but he's a half brother. I don't really know him. He said apparently he was tasked with trying to get me to take a bath. And at 7 years old, I basically told him to go F himself. And I put my fist through a door at 7 years old. And he told my wife this story, told everybody this story at a family reunion. And I put my fist through the door, and he backed off and said, bah, who gives a shit if the kid has a bath or not? It's just not that important. But as an adult, I don't break things. I break people. You know, and look, I try to analyze who I should take my anger out with, and that's where I put the focus. But I'm also really good, the older I get, to just say, you're not worth it. I'm not going to give you my anger. I'm not going to give you my energy. I'm just going to cut you out. I'm going to have nothing to do with you. That's how I get my anger out, is I X you out of my life. And I destroyed everything. Okay, I'll sit back again and listen. You're doing fine. If you could play Santa for a day. So if I could play Santa for a day, which I've done, what is one thing that you'd like to learn? Look, I played Santa. It's kind of creepy and gross. Having all those kids get up in your lap, ugh, I didn't like it, so I don't play Santa. I think it's creepy. I don't like kids touching me. I don't like people touching me. So, and then you're in their nose, you know. I didn't like playing Santa. So what I've learned, or what I would want to learn, is not to do it again. No more cookie jar. No more cookies. How will you survive? That's right, Cookie Monster. What the skill you need to learn to be Santa, and that patience. Patience. You gotta be so freaking patient. It's unbelievable. You gotta be like a mushroom. Just absorb, you know, put the fake smile on. You know, you gotta be like a hooker. You gotta be like a hooker. Santa Claus is like a hooker. You know, you gotta try to make the client happy whether you like it or not. Right? Santa Claus, I hate it. I don't like it. I got friends that they said, you know, if you just grow, I could probably make $10,000 to $20,000 a year playing Santa Claus, because I'm fat And if I let all of this grow, I look like Santa Claus. No. Did you know that the generations has attention span of a goldfish? That's me. Like they have to watch things with gameplay on side to watch and see it. English is my second language. It's all right. I understand, but I agree. I think modern young people today, their attention span, is about that of a nanosecond. Mine is about that of a second. So mine's better, but not much better. You know. But I think and what that is we're trained to do that. Ooh, somebody's getting a barbecue grill. I think my neighbor is either getting a new barbecue grill or getting rid of an old one. He's probably jealous of mine. But we are trained to have a very low attention, like shorts on YouTube, right? What do you think shorts is? Shorts is not only a response to our short attention span, but it's encouraging us to have a short attention span. I never heard anyone labeling the characters kind of like that as a hooker. That's a new one for the books. Well, it's kind of true though, right? If you think about it. Yeah, I'm just saying. I've known a couple hookers in my life. They used to come into my truck stop. And they were nice ladies. They're nice girls. And they would talk about how horrible it was to be a hooker. You know, and when I played Santa Claus, it was horrible. 2 and 2 equals 3. Short attention span theater. That's it. That's what shorts are, right? That's why they're encouraging you to do that, because nobody can have the attention span of a freaking gnat. You know. But that's okay, right? That's modern world. And that's part of the distraction factor. The world today wants to keep us distracted so we don't see what's really going on. They want to keep us confused. They want to keep us moving on to the very next thing. They don't want us to stop and look, study, learn, read, and hear about what's truly going on. They want us to do no research. They want us to catch the highlight on a short and move on to something else. And that's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I don't know. I don't really care. I just do what I do. But I believe that's the way it is. I really do. You know, TV commercials are the same way. You know, we want to buy bananas 1 minute, then we're going to be buying Coke the next minute. Next minute, we're going to buy Pepsi. The next minute, we're buying Cheerios, whatever the hell it is. You know, we can't keep up with what we're supposed to do. People would really watch more than 2 minutes of a video on YouTube. That's correct. That's why they created shorts, right? And now shorts have become nothing but commercials. Have you guys noticed that? It's like a commercial for a product or a song or this or that. I used to love to do shorts when it started. Now, there's no humans like me on there doing something stupid. It's either some music with, oh, look at my heaven, or my whatever the hell that song is, or a cat or a dog or some girl with big boobs. You know, I just, you know. Let's see. Sorry, let me get caught up here. Crystal says, don't worry, Tim. The fish called Finding Dory has a short-term memory loss as well. The people are really more than 2 minutes. Doria, Tim is asking who that is. That's why social media has also become addicted. It just hasn't been labeled yet as a mental health issue. I agree. But in a lot of places it has. It's starting to get a diagnosis as mental health, especially for the guys that are living in the basements on video games all the time, especially in Japan. There's already a phenomena of mental health issues with gamers and people on the internet all the time living a fantasy life versus reality. Tim, Dora the Explorer is a cartoon. I don't know much about it because I've only watched a tiny bit of it, but it's kind of like a kid's cartoon, maybe 8 to 10-year-olds, I think, where Dora is exploring the jungles. I don't know what Dora explores. I really don't. I think she's a little black-headed, Asian-looking, American-ish looking girl, but I really don't know what Dora does. Oh, Dora is a fish. Oh, Dora's the fish in the cartoon Finding Nemo. Is that what you mean, Crystal? So Dora, I was thinking Dora the Explorer. Crystal's referencing Dora the blue fish and Finding Nemo, the cartoon. I think when I go crawl in bed with a beautiful woman, that doesn't fall into the category as most think. Also, I thought about doing a live later, but then I think about it. Do I really want to? Hell, I don't know. I don't know what you really want to do. If I was crawling in bed, I would, see if the beaver was available. I don't know. So maybe the beaver is available. Immortality is like a sad power. Imagine you are dead. Oh, I love Deadpool. You see Ryan Reynolds, is that his name? Man, he's a fun actor. He's almost as good as that Tom Hardy guy. I love Tom Hardy. You see your family, friends, spouse, and other people die after you have lived for 5 million years, and the sun explodes, and now you go through space. There you go. It's already a medical problem in the mental health issue community. Yes, especially in Asian countries. America may not be recognizing it, but Asian countries are starting to. Dora is Finding Nemo. That's correct. So when you go to bed at night, when you ask Venus where Nemo is, Dora the Explorer, Helen Gendris or something. Yeah, I hate her. She's disgusting. She's a disgusting human being. Nasty, disgusting. But there's also a cartoon about Dora the Explorer, right? Or am I wrong? Is it not Dora? Dora the Explorer. She wears like a little safari outfit, Nemo is a clownfish. Yes. Yes, Crystal says. I must be old. Didn't know that was Nemo was missing. I know, right? That's probably a 20-year-old movie by now, Tim. You're not that old. It was one of the Disney movies before they got woke. Well, as they started to go woke and go down the tube. Disney's latest Snow White movie apparently flopped. I've watched both with my daughter. Nice, all right. When she was young. Oh, I thought you meant yesterday. Nemo, yes. Nemo was the mythical character that had the really cool submarine ship. Remember Nemo? Captain Nemo? That's a good story. Captain Nemo is a good mythological being. Get older or younger, whichever, is all going to happen. We're born naked, shitting ourselves. We die naked, shitting ourselves. There's also, Thomas the Tugboat. Yes, and Thomas the Train, right? Okay, good night. Good day, my friends. MJ, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, it's almost 8 o'clock, so we're going to be getting off of here soon anyway ourselves. So I got to rest up because I did so much manual labor today because I was such a hardworking patio owner. So, all right, MJ, appreciate you. Say hello to the wife, and we appreciate you. Hang in there. Enjoy your beaver hunt. I was in the military. I missed out on a lot of things. Yes. Yes, and I like them both. Tom Hardy's the better actor. I mean, that boy, I like Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is, I think, by far the best actor out there in the world. I think Ryan Reynolds is one of the most naturally funny actors out there. But I'm watching a thing on Netflix now with Tom Hardy about what's called mobsters in England. Man, that boy can act. I mean, he is by far, I think, the best actor out there. Yeah, we watched all the Venom ones. Walmart had the Venom sweatshirts on sale for $10 on clearance the other day. We were at a Walmart, and I saw where they had a bunch of the Venom shirts on clearance. So apparently, you know, they had way too many. But we like the Venom shows. We did. We do. But Tom Hardy's made some really good movies. The Gentleman, I mean, there's so many movies and show. Man, it's mind-boggling that he can pull these things off and you believe that he's really that character. But I do like Ryan Reynolds, and I just think he's one of the more naturally funny actors. I liked him in the game video, the game movie. Tim, would you say there is more propaganda back when you served versus there is now? And why do you believe this? So, Tim, Chris was asking about propaganda. When you were back in the military, do you think there is more propaganda then or now? But what I would ask Crystal is, what do you mean by propaganda? Are you talking about military propaganda or just propaganda in general? Happy, I don't know who that one is. Can you tell me who he plays? I don't know that name. I don't know that name. I'm sorry, I don't know that name. Tim says, I don't know anything about these actors. I must be so far out of the loop. It's unbelievable. Well, you're old, Tim. You go to the gym a lot. Oh, he plays a role in the Doctor. I never watched Doctor Who. I didn't like Doctor Who, so I don't know him. Is he Doctor Who, the British guy? Other than that, I don't know him. Well, so what you're asking is, do we believe that there is more conspiracy theories like in the 50s and 60s and 70s versus now? I don't think there is more or less. This is my opinion. I don't think there's necessarily more or less. I do think it's I think they're more faked now. I think, you know, the conspiracy or the theories were out there, but now there's more people with AI and video editing software and the internet, and it gets more attention. So I don't think there's more of them because it's like not an infinite amount. It's a finite amount of topics. But now there's 10 million more people talking about it, pretending it's real, you know, putting it out there because of technology. Yeah, so like Bigfoot, you know, JFK, you know, Epstein. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I've got some movie bloopers. I like them at the end of the movies. You know, back when I was a youngster, like Smoking the Bandit, they would roll after the movies, they would roll the bloopers. And that was always fun. We would stick, and we do that now. We stick around when we go to the movies to wait to make sure that we don't miss bloopers or something other that kind of comes up. So we are one of the people in the audience that sticks around until the very end. Tim, she's asking, child welfare, divorce, mental health, even. I can't keep going with the list. Do I think there's, are you asking if Tim thinks there's more of it now? Does it get more attention, less attention, I guess? They are better informed so they can decide. Right, here's what I'll say. This is my personal opinion, Crystal. I think with modern technology, modern day, we know way more about child abuse, child trafficking, you know, serial killers, human behavior on the negative side, domestic abuse than we ever did in the 50s, the 40s, 30s, 20s, 1800s, right? We understand it way better today than we ever did. I'm not saying it's better, but we understand that it's an issue. And I think there are a lot more people that are not accepting of those things today than there was 50 years ago. Toy Story, Monster Inc., Bugs Life, bloopers at the credits. Yeah, I think it's good. More of them now than there was when Tim served. Yes, that's exactly what I say. Yeah, I agree. So, all right, my friends, it's a little bit after 8 o'clock here. We thank everybody for coming in. Man, it's been an exciting live stream. Been a good live stream because of all of you. So I want to encourage all of you guys to come back and join us again. Hopefully we'll go live tomorrow night. We'll have to see tomorrow night's Friday night. Hollywood Squares. I remember that show. That was kind of a weird, funny, bonkers show. What's the best movie in black and white these days? Oh, I don't know. I don't know any black and white movies. Crystal says, okay, have a great evening. We will. Thank you for that. I think, well, Tim says, I think people were happier in the 50s. I think they were happier in the 50s because they have less knowledge of all the horrible things that happen in the world like today. So I do think they were happier in the 50s because they're not exposed to as much garbage. Take care, everybody. All right, guys. We appreciate you all. Thank you for joining us. And be safe. My dogs are wanting a treat, so I got to go give them a treat. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Gus says, Cheech and Chong movies were good. Up in Smoke was very good. Happy Easter if you celebrate it. So long. Gus Sanders, we appreciate you. Your cousin was in here earlier. I tried to tell him that you wanted him to give me $1,000 on my PayPal account so that I could forward it to you. But I don't think he believed me. So you might have to call him up and say, look, yes, it's okay if you give Pac $1,000 and he can give it to me later on in life. So see you later, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk to you guys all later.